It's October. I'm realizing that halfway in. But you know that doesn't really matter because I'm still early enough for Halloween and I have a good game for today. I knew it was too good to be true. Well, that game's out of order at the moment, but well, I mean, what else is there to play on a day like this?
We have SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, Resident Evil, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Wait a minute, I don't remember adding that there.
And Five Nights at Freddy's.
Wait!
Five Nights at Freddy's. The one game you'd definitely be thinking when talking about the jump scare horror game. No. Five Nights at Freddy's, not the series, not the movies, not the books, but the first game. This game released in 2014 for PC and a boatload of other platforms like mobile, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and of course Xbox One. And this is a point-and-click horror survival game, and I can kind of see this game resembling the PC games that was out during the late 90s and early 2000s. But here, that idea is brought into a horror game aspect.
This will get you into the schoolyard for a game. Plot.
I don't know when the purple body will jump at me. And with this game having you stationary the entire time, all you have to do is make sure no animatronics get in your office and kill you. And you're probably thinking you're helpless, right? No, you have some pretty powerful tools at your disposal. You have a light and a door. That is not enough. This game is all about resource management and making sure you survive until 6 a.m. And what you do in this game is that you're a security guard staying overnight in a pizzeria, not really doing your typical task. And the levels are not called levels, they are labeled as nights, which you have to complete 5 nights in order to complete the game.
Wow, I did not mean for that.
And the controls are, depending on which version you play is what the controls are, but I mean, you literally have the ability to play this on a 3DS. You're not going to pass up the touchscreen, are you?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like this is best played with a keyboard and mouse, not only because the game was originally designed around this setup, but I also feel like this works really well. If you want to use a controller to play this game, fine. It's whatever you want to do. Touchscreen works really well, but I think it might make it a little bit too easy at times. The keyboard and mouse setup, these strike a good balance between being difficult and having a smooth and quick motion to it. It feels really good playing it with a keyboard and mouse. And plus, with you being stuck in an office, yeah, it kind of makes sense. And just like Guitar Hero Live, this game definitely requires you to wear headphones to get the full experience and be able to hear everything. But with headphones and also the combination of a keyboard and mouse setup, I feel like I might accidentally get too immersed in the game.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier.
But if I could pick from any controller on what is the best to play this game, no matter if it had an official release or not, I would say it would be the Wii U gamepad. This, I feel like, would have been perfect for a game like this. In the VR game, the camera system and the buttons to change it are separated, and in the original game, they're all on one screen. So with the Wii U gamepad, you can have the camera system and the buttons on different screens. I would have liked to see an official release of this game, but for the longest time, I used to be scared, and I used to be able to not play this game past the first, maybe even the second night.
But since I built up the courage, now we can actually complete the game, right? Nope! Nope! Nope!
And that's what happens when you get a game over. So it's your task to close doors and keep watch of every animatronic to make sure you survive as long as you can. And while it may seem easy the first night, there are several more that you need to complete, and each different animatronic has different patterns. The later nights get very difficult. I had the most hardest time trying to get the hang of the game. But now, since I started talking about this game for like 11 minutes or so, I was like, okay, if I want to play this game, I gotta keep trying at it. I started to get the hang of it. I started playing this game all the way up into the 5th night. While the game might let you off easy in the first night, it does get extremely, and I say extremely difficult in the later nights. There are a total of 4 different animatronics, maybe 5 if you include Golden Freddy, but the main ones are Bonnie, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy, and they all have different patterns. I haven't really kept up on exactly what they do. All I know is that Foxy runs really fast. Yeah, there's a lot more to this game to learn, but everyone can easily play this game, but the difficulty does ramp up in the later levels. Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those games where I wouldn't play them too often, but I still tried it and enjoyed it. My experience with the Five Nights at Freddy's is really hard to track on where it started. I don't remember when I exactly started playing any game from the FNAF series, but I probably say that at least I've been a fan of it for a long while. At the time, I didn't really understand what I needed to do. I didn't know how the game works, so I wouldn't make it past the second night. Any of the games, you'd have to understand at least something in order to make it through the game. What you need to do is understand on when to do certain things. Doors are your friend. Don't mess up that relationship. That's the only thing you need to do, and timing that right is the main important thing. Foxy is the next competitor for Formula 1, so you need to make sure you close the door before he goes in. Bonnie and Chica will show their faces at the door so you can close them in time. They're a little bit easier to deal with, and I don't know what Freddy does. I don't worry about him.
Whoa!
Now, if you're too late with Bonnie and Chica, you could just wait it out until you either die or complete the night. Learning all of that is what worked best for me. Now, instead of night 2, I can get up to night 5. There's a lot more going on. Since that's technically considered the final level, there's a lot more going on, and you need to keep a watch of your surroundings at all times, both in the screen and with audio. And with this game being extremely popular, this game has got to have some of the best soundtrack I've ever heard, right? Yeah, there's really no soundtrack in this game. The title screen is really the only piece of music you get, and I like it. The only thing you hear in this game is the humming of the fans and screen, various stuff like that in the game, which you really would not want any sort of soundtrack in this game if you're trying to pay attention to what's around you. And the graphics are really good for being an indie game in 2014. It uses very similar methods to how games like Donkey Kong Country or New Super Mario Bros. With DS would do it. They were all 3D models that are pre-rendered to be sprites in the game, and then makes the game super realistic without needing a super beefy PC to play it. And once you beat the game, oh, come on! There is also an extra night to complete in the game, and a custom game even to play, so you can go at it however many times you want, which I think is really cool. This game has been quite an experience. Looking back at the trailer and seeing it 4x3 provides more chills than widescreen gameplay. I don't know why that is, but if I could get a classic setup to play this game with some sort of CRT monitor, that would be really cool. The ultimate frightening experience. And the legacy after Five Nights at Freddy's is crazy. Sequels, remasters, remakes, spin-offs, and tons upon tons of fan projects like fan games, homebrew ports. This game, while there might be an issue here and there with it, it's perfect.
But what do I have to say about Five Nights at Freddy's? Well, this game was really fun. Sure, I scared myself at certain points, but I mean, other than that, it was fine. But hey, it was really fun though, and I can see why the game was super popular. But now we just need to pick something else to play, something next we could talk about. Not now.